Let's consider InTASC Standard 6, assessment. And I know that word can make people uncomfortable, but I want to reframe it for you. Here's the core of the standard. The teacher understands and uses multiple methods of assessment to engage learners in their own growth, to monitor learner progress, and to guide the teachers' and learners' decision-making. So let's break that down. Assessment isn't just about grading. It's about noticing, responding, and growing together. And when we bring in our theory of understanding, assessment becomes something much more human, much more dynamic and relational. Think of understanding as movement. Let me remind you that understanding isn't static. It's a process in motion. It's embodied. It grows. It shifts form. And assessment is the practice of paying attention to that movement. When we assess, well, we're asking what form is the learner's understanding taking right now? What materials are they working with, and how are they shaping them? What purpose is emerging in their learning? What function is their thinking serving? What affordances do they see or miss? In this way, assessment becomes less about judging and more about witnessing learning in real time. Let's break it down. Performance. Teachers who meet Standard 6 use a variety of assessment strategies: formative, summative, diagnostic, and informal. They gather evidence of learning regularly, not just at the end, involve students in self-assessment and goal setting, use data to adjust instruction, not just report outcomes. From my perspective, this means constantly tuning into the movement of understanding. Assessment becomes a form of attunement. You're listening, noticing, adjusting. We have essential knowledge. To do this well, teachers need to understand the strengths and limitations of different assessment tools, how to design assessments that align with learning goals, how to interpret assessment results fairly and contextually, how bias and invisibility can creep into our interpretations of student performance. Assessment is never just about numbers. It's about meaning. It's about knowing that evidence of understanding can take many forms, and that not all of them are obvious unless you know where and how to look. We have critical dispositions. This is where your mindset matters most. You believe that assessment is for learning, not just of learning. You value student voice and see self-assessment and reflection as vital parts of growth. You're committed to fairness, equity, and transparency in how you assess. You stay curious about what students are showing you and what you might be missing. I would say that understanding is emergent. It doesn't arrive fully formed. Good teachers know how to look for the shape of becoming, even when it's messy, uncertain, or incomplete. So, final thoughts. Here's the heart of Standard 6. Assessment is not the end of learning. It's part of how learning unfolds. When we assess well, we're not just gathering scores, we're building a relationship with student thinking. So ask yourself, what do I see in this student's work? What does it show me about their understanding? its form, its movement, or need? And how can I respond in a way that supports the next step? If we see assessment this way, it becomes a tool of care, insight, and collaboration.